Hey there, third grade. This is Mr. Campbell. Today we're going to be working on page 217. This is going to be lesson 6.3, and we're going to be doing area again, but this time we're going to be talking about standard units. And so at the end of today, we want to say I can measure the area of a shape using standard units. All that means is just like before when we were talking about our square units, today we're going to label those units. All right. When people are on the job site, if they're building a house, measuring things, and they've got to know exact measurements, they use inches, feet, meters, millimeters, centimeters, all sorts of different measurement units. All right. And when we start to talk about the area inside of a shape, we're going to use those exact things, but it's still a square unit. And we're going to take a look at what does that mean a little bit more as we turn to the next page. So go ahead and turn with me now to page 218 and look at what this means. So here we are on page 218, and it says Meg bought this sticker. What is the area of the sticker in square centimeters? It says you can measure area in standard units. A square centimeter is a standard unit of area. All right. And so let's go ahead and take a look at box B real quick. It says here are some of the standard units of length. An inch, which we abbreviate IN, and then we've got square inch. Foot, which we abbreviate FT, and then we could turn that into a square foot. Centimeter, we abbreviate CM, is a square centimeter, and then meter, which we abbreviate with an M, is a square meter. Now, the reason that we call it each of these things is because every single side of our unit squared will be that thing. So I've actually got here with me my ruler, and I'm going to zoom in real quick because I want you to see this. This is why we call it a square. All right, so let me zoom in here. All right. And if I bring up my ruler, so I'm on the centimeter, you can see the CM right here by my finger, and the bottom is 1, and then the side is 1. It's a little hard to see, I know, but it's another 1 there. And then if I go up to the top, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be another 1 centimeter. And then if I go over here to the side, you know what it's going to be? 1 centimeter there. It's 1 centimeter on all of those different sides. Each of those sides, and then it makes up a square, right? So this is a square centimeter. So when they're asking us, well, how many of those square centimeters? I know that that means every side of this square is 1 centimeter, and I want to count how many that is. So let's count them up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means that this is 6 square centimeters, and I'm going to ask you to write it with me. So we're going to write 6, all right? And then we're going to write square. And then instead of writing this long word centimeter, we're going to use the abbreviation, which in this case is CM. CM stands for centimeter. All right. We're going to use those abbreviations today as we're working on our standard units of area. All right. Let's go ahead and turn to page 219 and look at our guided practice for today. All right, so here we are on page 219, and I want us to start over here with number 1 real fast. It says, if Meg's sticker on the previous page measured 2 inches by 3 inches, what would its area be? All right, so just like before, if I grab our other page and look at it real quick, if we said that these were square inches, it's 2 by 3, all right? So how many would it be? Well, it would be 6 squares, but what is the unit that we're talking about? Are we still talking about centimeters squared? No, we're not talking about centimeters squared. We're talking about square inches. So we would say 6 square, and then IN is our abbreviation because we changed the units here. We're not talking about centimeters. We're talking about inches. Now it says for number 2, Zoe paints a wall that measures 8 feet by 10 feet. What units should Zoe use for the area of the wall? What type of unit are we talking about? Well, let's look back here. She paints a wall that measures 8 feet by 10 feet. So what should the units be? square feet, because we're talking about area. We're not just talking about feet. We want to talk about those squares. How many squares would it take to fill up that wall? So we would be using a foot for each side of our square feet. All right. Let's take a look at numbers 3 and 4. All right. And it says here in 3 and 4, each unit square represents a standard unit. Count the shaded unit squares and then write the area. All right. So just like we've been practicing, we're going to count how many it takes to fill in this whole thing. And then look at what our unit is for this one. It's one of these little boxes is going to be 1 square foot. So our final answer, when we write how many it was, we should be writing square feet. Let's count them up. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12, and then we got to write square feet. All right. What about for number 4? Number 4, 1 square. M stands for meter. So how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we would say 12 square M for meters. All right. It's not super different from what we've been doing. It's going to be similar. We just have to make sure that our units are what's changing. When we talk about the area inside, we have to talk about it in squares. All right. But we've got to make sure that the unit is accurate. All right. So let's go ahead and go down. I'm going to have you try 2 on your own. All right. 2 of them on your own. I want you to try number 5 and number 6 on your own right now. All right. You're going to pause the video, do those 2, and then press play, and I will go over them with you. All right. I hope you paused the video and did numbers 5 and number 6. Let's check it out. I see that I've got rows of 4 here, and so I know I can count by 4. So 4, 8, 12, 16. All right, that's skip counting by 4s, or I could say 4 times 4, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 across the bottom, and 4 going up. Well, 4 times 4 was 16. So I've got 16, and then I got to write square, and this is why it's so important. Square what? Square inches. All right, square inches. If you forgot to write in for number 6 what your units squared are, write that in right now before we even start this one. For number 6, I see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 what? 9 square feet. 9 square feet. Make sure on every single problem that you've got, you double check to make sure that you have written in the correct units that you're supposed to be using. All right. I know that they can get tricky, but you've got to check what your units are going to be every time. The difference could be really big and really different, which is why you always want to check what those are going to be. All right, well, that is all that we've got for today. It's kind of a short lesson because we've been practicing this counting of these different ones. Remember, the area is what's on the inside of our shape, and we want to use our square units to be able to do that. And sometimes we'll have inches, feet, centimeters, meters. We have all sorts of different things, but we want to make sure that we use the correct units when we are measuring. Thanks so much for working with me today. You guys did an awesome job. I will see you next time. Have a great rest of the day.